It's Chad the Bird!
Humans, have you noticed something? Do you feel that? Did you catch that? I ask because you're on your phones and stuff and you might have missed it. And I don't mean that in a touch grass or a old guy yelling at kids on bikes kind of way, like they didn't have bikes back in his day. I'm not cronky or anything. I don't really care, honestly, if you have felt or feel anything. It's just that I don't think you've noticed. Like the air is different. It's changed. There's new smells that are getting me in a whiskey mood. There's leaves on the ground. I just didn't think you'd seen it because you really haven't been acting like you have. It is September already. The creep decor is up at Walgreens. Pumpkin spice hath risen and is waiting for you to roll back the rock at Starbucks. You can hear the snappity pops like the trees are cracking knucks. The wind's getting whistly. Why, I hear tell, the old abandoned Johansson General Store just ain't there anymore. The locals say it turned into a spirit Halloween overnight. It's almost sweater weather, cuffing season, the crispy times. Fall is on the breeze. And yet, I don't know if you've noticed or felt it because lately, y'all have had the energy of Sugar Jack camp kids on a break at a water park. It's not summer anymore, humans. I know the climate has changed, so it is confusing because it was like 80 degrees yesterday and it's like 90 today or 60 or whatever. But that doesn't change the numbers. The math stays true. It's fucking almost autumn and y'all have some serious July energy right now. I'm afraid you're going to blow past it to Christmas, and the human body can only handle so much. Are you ready now for Santa? Do you really think in the wake of 2025 you're going to want to see chasing lights and joy right now? No. You're going to need a spooky break with some hot cider and chocolates with goo in them. It's a ritual. It gives you time to respond to the oncoming terrors of the winter holidays and not just react in an anxiety attack because you haven't started shopping yet. You need the salty sweetness of Samhain season to reflect and ready with many a delicious caramel. Sure, granted, I'd rather you forget it's almost time for soups and roasts because my kind are kind of known for their flavor. Normally, I'd be fine letting the season sneak up on you broth junkies because you know what you need for the good stuff. And yeah, if you didn't, I just outed my whole species. But that's how much I care about you humans. I'm going against my better nature to check in because usually around now there is a vibe, and right now there is not, and I am responding to it. I figure it's because you're on your phones and you're just used to reacting. There is a difference between the two things, reacting and responding. Don't believe me? You can read some Brad Stulberg or just Google him like I did today. Because he writes that, quote, responding is considerate and deliberate. Reacting, on the other hand, literally means to meet one action with another. It is immediate and rash. And it makes sense that you've been reacting. It's taking a second to respond because, like, you're on your phones. You know what happens if you don't respond in a timely manner. That Ripley dot anxiety brings to them on the other end. So instead, you just pop a thumbs up reaction on the bubble. You buy yourself some time. Or just let that be the reaction. You've said your piece, thumbs up, all good. No further info required. Response, it seems, involves the old prefrontal cortex, which us birds do not have, so says science. But we got ourselves a nidopallium caudolaterale. I can do this. We've got ourselves a nidopallium caudolaterale. You don't know what that is? Yeah, because you don't know, because that's our word. We use that word. So we can process shit like you can. I'm able to respond is what I mean, lest you think I don't get you sometimes. So I can kind of deduce in my little neopally or whatever the fuck that a long time of practicing that kind of phone reactionary discourse back and forth all days for all hours at all times maybe is causing you humans to have some serious 5-hour energy reactions in the real. And though that's fine for hot fun in the summertime, yo loving it, no regrets, it's getting on fall. And it's time to take a minute by the campfire. And lucky for you humans, I got me a tale to tell. Gather round and huddle close. Get low by the fire, because I got a story for the crispy times coming up when every spice is pumpkin and the ghosts are getting wiggly. Gather close, For mine's a tale of suspense and chills and frights at night. Maybe. You don't know yet. Don't react. Just give me a second. I'm building it here so then you can respond. Late one midnight on September 9th in a little apartment block in Schwabach, Bavaria. Have you heard the tale? No spoilers if you have. That's reactionary. I told you to gather round. Anyway, it was midnight on September 9th in a quiet little Bavarian apartment block in Schwabach, across the street from an abandoned house the teenagers use for teenage shit, or so the locals say. September in Bavaria is cooler, especially higher up in the mountains. So cool even that the slugs, or Nacktschnecke in German, which literally means naked snail, hot, they say are more active at night because they too like it cool. So chances are you'll see a few like you're in a Miyazaki movie, except you're surrounded by Bavarian houses like you're on the Snow White ride at Disney World. Either way, it's enchanting at midnight in the almost fall in Bavaria. Nestled deep within the cool mountain air of the small hours of September was this apartment block community, casually snoozing, no doubt, with the windows open because it was cool. When suddenly, someone buzzed the front door. Now, any human ever lived in an apartment block that has been buzzed at midnight when you're asleep knows the blood-freezing terror that happens when your piece is bebuzzled. You panic like you forgot you invited someone over. You didn't. Maybe you ordered some Grubhub and passed out. It's possible, but there would be a paper trail, more likely a text notification because you're always on your phones. Now, you're thinking, it's got to be worse. You're listening to true crime podcasts. You've seen the movies. You probably watched one recently because it's getting on that time of the year. So now you're thinking, maybe it's a hook-handed midnight slasher in a raincoat. No doubt crawled from the sea. Or in this case, in September in Bavaria, he's probably covered in fucking slugs. What do? You don't fucking answer. That's insane. That's horror movie shit right there. You know better. Suddenly, buzzed again. Oh, shit. This time it's personal. Someone knows you're home. One of the inhabitants of this buzzed apartment block nestled in the cool September midnight in Bavaria, a 30-year-old shop sales assistant who only gave their first name as Lisa, told the German tabloid Bild, quote, "We don't tend to answer the door after 10 p.m. So when the bell rang, I tried to ignore it. I thought it might be the kids from the abandoned house over the road. Of course! The abandoned house where the teens were teening. That's the price you pay, I guess, living across the street from a Bavarian party house. Obviously, it's someone fucking around. That's using the old prefrontal cortex. They even got a word for that in German. Klingelstreich, or ding-dong ditch in the States. Knock down ginger in England, which is just so British. But then, Lisa told the tabloid, quote, "But then, my sister-in-law who lives upstairs called and asked whether our bell was ringing as hers wouldn't stop. It kept ringing even as we telephoned. She got up. She checked the door cam because we can now. It's the future. But, quote, despite the fact that no one could be seen at the door, we became really uneasy. That's when we decided to call the police. Fuck, it was a ghost. It'd have to be. That's the only explanation for someone buzzing a whole-ass apartment building at midnight in Bavaria. At least that's what you would be thinking in that moment because you're not thinking. You're reacting. Your space has been invaded. Your piece grangled. Your tour klingelgelted. Buzzed again! Die Polizei was called. The buzzing continued. Every room awakened in panic, ready to throw blame wherever they could. Kids, broken buzzer tech, ghosts. The police arrived in that apartment block in Schwabach, Bavaria, at midnight. The neighbors at Twitter, some probably TikToking in fear. And they, too, figured it was the kids across the street, ready and willing to take him down. And yet they found no motion sensors tripped, no one seen at the door, and the buzzers were still buzzing. Oh, yes, the danger must be growing, for the buzzers keep on buzzing and show no signs of slowing. The buzzers all are blowing up each and every flat, echoing danger in this cool September midnight in Bavaria. This is a totally true story, lest you think I'm wasting your time. What would you do in this moment, humans? Whom would you assume? What would you gethinkis? Would you blame the kids across the street? Walk right across the Strasse and give them a taste of their own Klingelstreich? Call the cops? Send them over to the house? Knock some sense into those kids and their damn buzzer pranks. Fuck the kids. God damn it. Back in the day, they had manners. They said sir or madam, herr or frau, please, and fucking danke. Bang, bang, bang. And that is when the police noticed that it wasn't a teenager, a hook-handed killer, or a ghost at all. It was a fucking slug. Remember the slugs in September, when it is cool and they like to come out at night. One of the residents, Dominic, told Bill, quote, there was a slug sitting right on our nameplate. You could even see his slime trail as it crawled across the sensors. In a statement, a police spokesperson in Schwabach said that the animal, quote, had been brought down to size, taught about its territory boundaries, and placed on a nearby stretch of grass. The residents back to bed. The party house no doubt continuing whatever cool shit it was up to. And the buzzers were silent in the coolness of a September night in Bavaria. The sound of the Nachtschnecke Klingelstreich still haunting them and me now. I tell you this tale because humans, there is something on the breeze. And it is not just the autumn, it's you. I see it more than I have in a while. It's in your comments, your vids, your texting like it's too hot in July. So heed my scary tale for fall. Because I may not be sporting a prefrontal cortex, but I know enough not to just click a button when things are alarming. Before you take it to TikTok with a reaction, give yourself time to know what's happening. Have a chocolatey treat and craft a response. Because it might be danger, it might be pranks, or it just might be a slug on your doorbell. I love you. Good night.
Nailed it.